Hello, hello. Hey, what's going on? Kind of struggle streaming here a little bit. What's happening, guys? Shout out to Don Jose, always supporting, always coming up. Shout out to the 18th letter. Appreciate you guys coming up. Now, you have an idea of what are we gonna be talking about? I'm gonna put up the links soon. It's just that there are a couple of things that I want to get out of the way before we get into it. Um, this is gonna seem like a kind of like taking advantage of a situation, something that somebody went through that could have actually cost them dearly. I'm not. This is not a celebration. This is not a celebration. I'm not glad about what happened to the guy that had to leave Brazil. This is not me going ha ha ha. No, no, no. That's not what this is about. I mean, also, before somebody starts um, before the somebody tries to start and try to make it seem like I'm only trying to put some accountability on one group. That's not what this is. Before somebody tries to say something like this, let me see if I can get it to work right. Let me see. Hmm. Let me show you what I mean.
You went after the passport bros, but did you ever check the white men that do this?
The thing is that this is actually a fair point, saying that maybe somebody should actually be presenting accountability across the board, which is something that is fair. And in the name of that, I'm gonna bring up kind of like a little bit of a backstory, a tiny little bit of backstory when it comes to the whole thing about traveling to other places to get with women and things like that. In all places, in a certain place called Reddit. Let me see if I can share this. Da, 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 da. I want to make sure that I have this. Okay. In a place in a place called Reddit of all places, I found this little excerpt about something that has to do with traveling to other places for sex tourism. And this says, this is an excerpt only, a brief history of why do white men go to Southeast Asia for sex tourism, right? Okay, let me see, because I'm trying to see. Okay, let me see, because all right, I want to make sure that you guys hear me. That's why I was kind of testing here. A brief history of why do white men go to Southeast Asia for sex tourism. In the following excerpt, notice sections race researcher Rosalind Chu interviews a Thai woman, AFWM, Asian female, white male. I think that's what that means. And explains her desire for white men in the context of sex tourism, war in Vietnam, and hegemonic white masculinity. There is a notable disparity in the rates of exogamy by Asian males and females. Only 25% of Asian white marriages involve an Asian male and white female, and the remaining 75% is Asian female with white male. White hegemony has a direct effect on this imbalance. Collins notes, love may appear to come from nowhere, but it is profoundly affected by the political, economic, and social conditions of the new racism. My respondent Lee, a first-generation Thai American in her 40s who lives in the Mid-Atlantic region, immigrated to the United States after working in a sweatshop in her home country. She was so happy about finding a white American husband and having a half-white child. She openly admitted that white Americans were valued very highly to Thai people over other Americans, and that her half-white child would be treated as special if she returned. There are historical roots to Lee's preference for hegemonic white Western masculinity. Now listen to this. There was a spike in white male Asian female marriages during and following the US involvement with wars in Asia, World War II, Korea, the Korean Peninsula, meaning, and Vietnam. The military industrial complex largely created the sex tourism industry in Southeast Asia. During the Vietnam War, the US military set up sexual rest and relaxation destinations in Southeast Asia for Allied soldiers with financial assistance from the World Bank. These sexual ports were created to maintain morale so that American soldiers could maintain masculinity with the availability of prostitutes. Okay, we went to that. That's a tiny little bit of history. Now, if we're going to mention something, because this is actually kind of difficult to find out, but there are instances in which the opinion of certain white men presence in certain parts of Asia, this is something that we have talked about. It's not really viewed necessarily that well. Again, this is something that I also found on Reddit. Now, this statement may be real or may not be real, but doesn't make it necessarily wrong, doesn't make it necessarily a lie. We'll see. Okay, this is a poster on some band inside Reddit, and it says, let me check this out. I'll get back to the postings because I'm really focusing on what I have what I have on screen. Okay, it says all crusty white men that visit Southeast Asian countries for sex tourism are disgusting. And I say white men because that is literally the demographic that I see. They come to these impoverished countries, don't wear condoms when they have sex with prostitutes. Majority who are just trying to survive and get to go back to their comfortable homes in first world countries while their children starve. Don't get an education and ultimately are cycled into being a prostitute. They are left with identity crisis and with no father figure. This is modern day colonization. And let's not talk about the fact that a majority also have sex with underage children. This is something that I have read about before. Nasty peas. I mean, you can see the word. I don't want to say the whole word because I understand that there is censorship when it comes to that. Nasty pedos. But that's all I'm gonna say. I watched a documentary where this child great victims. It's not sex work. It's great what they do to these kids. Were being rehabilitated, and as part of therapy, they were put in a cushion room where they could hit the wall and yell. These poor girls were traumatized from being sold to make money. These men effing repulse me, and then you see them flirting with these young, pretty women like, you are bald, red, and have a beer belly, holy ish. The delusion to think they are actually into you. It's like these men try to feel young once again because women in their countries don't find grandpas attractive and won't feed into their delusions. Something similar to this as I have somewhat seen before, And yeah, I mean, there are other parts of the world where this is like a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing that is going on. I'm gonna go through the comments now, and let's see. Okay, I already gave a shout out to Don Jose and my guy 18 letter. What's up, guys? Let's go a little bit more over here. Hey, Morena, what's going on, chica? What's happening? Hey, Armando, what's up? What's up? I'm gonna be dropping the link soon, so hang with me. Part 2. When did you have part 1? Yes, I did have part 1. It was like a couple of months ago. I mean, yeah. Check with it in the library, and I did another live stream about the passport bros. I think you were part of it. I think at least in the comments. Maybe you don't remember right now. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Tino? Okay, everybody's greeting each other. That's nice. And going down to the comments. Now I'm gonna be dropping the link because I mean, you know that I don't do a lot of monologuing. It's never been my thing. So feel free to come on up. I'm doing that kind of like as a background type of thing, trying to make sure that I kind of like dispense a little accountability across the board. I don't want it to be seen like I'm trying to harp on one demographic, because that's not what this is about. I'm actually glad that the guy did get out, and he was in Brazil and ended up going somewhere else. And my understanding is that he was able to get out, which is good. That's actually good. Okay, let me see. Trying to look a little something, because I did come across a video in which he was talking a little bit about the whole thing. Okay. I'm gonna be right with you, Jose. It's just that I'm trying to bring up a video. I don't think I'm gonna be playing this whole thing. Hey, Don Jose, ¿cómo está?
Muy bien. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me in your cyber home.
Appreciate it. I'm also gonna bring back up violencia contra. I can't read the whole title, but I have an idea of who it is. So, Violencia, welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
I knew it. Hey, what's going on? I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, smoking Blood Moon pack. So that's what I'm doing.
Blood Moon packs. Okay.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the best weed ever. So that's what I'm doing.
So that's a new strain. That's a new strain of herb.
Exactly.
Okay. That's good. So I mean, yeah. It's just that I wanted to talk a little bit more about what was happening with more about the subject. I'm not trying to harp on this one guy, but I did wanted to play a video in which it talks more about the situation with him, what we were talking about yesterday. So I'm gonna be sharing more about it. Let me make sure that I get the audio. Fair use. This is for commentary.
So I got this message today on TikTok, and I thought it was interesting. So we'll roll a clip, and I'll react to it. Roll a clip.
Breaking news with incoming receipts. The Passport Bro savior, Austin Holloman, is now currently being harassed, threatened, and ran out of Brazil. And guess
Yeah, I
what?
saw this.
Those passive, submissive, feminine Brazilian beauties. As you can see here, what he posted. You have seen the end of Brazil on my channel. Oh my God. They're running this boy out of Brazil, y'all. Passport Bros. But wait, there's more. He also posted this post right here, which he's calling out the Brazilian women for siding with the American women, in which he says, imagine siding with the same, all caps, same women that called you sluts, desperate, poor, and astutes. Wow. What sense does that make? So now he's upset that the Brazilian women have banded together somehow with the American women all across country lines in continents, right? To band together to rid themselves and purge themselves of this Passport Bro pandemic. This is a crazy turn of events. When I say the jokes literally write themselves.
Remember, my dad is still traditional, but me, I need half. But this video is about the Passport Bros. I think 99% of you are going out of the country looking for cheap fun. And honestly, I don't care what you do. I'm not depolicing y'all. Do your thing. My biggest disagreement is the fact that y'all consider this dating. And it's not. Y'all are out there marrying these women, so you're just wasting their time, if you ask me. And honestly, I'd rather you waste their time than some of the decent women that are still in the States. Roll a clip.
Look at this article. Now, this is in the Brazilian news, okay? And as you see, this just came out this year, 2023. Passport Bros, y'all done blew the spot up in South America. Damn. It says, YouTuber Norte Americano graba videos.
Okay, this guy is trying to read the text, the South American Portuguese text, but he's not gonna give you any translations. But because I can read and speak Spanish, and South American Portuguese is influenced by Spanish, I can tell you. And you guys, Jose, Armando, you can tell what I can tell, and that is
Yeah, because I've actually seen this this exact clip on TikTok and everything like that. But to talk about the about sex tourism and everything like that, and the Passport Bros. This is my thing. So the Passport Bros, let's just be honest. If they didn't have passport, there was like a whole thing about them, right? That they were calling themselves the Passport Bros because they couldn't get any women here in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like there is kind of like a precedent to that whole thing about going someplace else to get a woman, which is something that I just talked about, something that traces back to the Second World War. I mean, and what these guys are doing is not anything new, but we talked about it on Jose's platform.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. Because there were white guys, servicemen that were kind of already doing that. They were traveling to different parts of Asia, and they were they were basically doing the same thing. But kind of like the difference is that they were, well, hell, we're talking about back in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, where there was no social media, and these guys will do whatever.
But another thing to go back to what you were saying,
mm-hmm.
It even started before World War II, because you have to remember the Japanese. They
Mhm.
actually had China and what is now North and South Korea on lock during the times when it was World War II and even before World War II. So
Yeah.
what they did to the women, I mean, who were not non-Japanese,
Mhm.
Chinese and Koreans, and then some Filipino women, they
Yeah.
actually forced these women into prostitution, and they were called comfort ladies for the Japanese army.
Yeah.
Sad to say.
Yeah, it is sad and it is unfortunate. And to add to it, after the Spanish American War, I mean, the United States took control, as you said, of the Philippines, but it also took control of Cuba and Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, and
Mhm.
so, and they could establish casinos in Cuba, and the Havana was very sadly, unfortunately, was basically the United States whorehouse for the military. They were
Right,
being,
but yeah, and also a lot of Puerto Rican men, like I guess after the Spanish War, this what a lot of people they don't tell you about is
Mhm.
that within the population of Puerto Ricans, you seen like after the war, like a lot of Puerto Rican and Filipino marriages because a lot of Puerto Rican men took Filipino wives.
Yeah. Yeah, because there were servicemen. I mean, there were some Puerto Ricans that did that too because they were being stationed over there. I mean, and same with Vietnam. I remember I have met a couple of half Koreans and half Vietnamese and even a half Chinese. Well, but that was because the Chinese person migrated to Puerto Rico. There are a few Chinese people there. Um, so that is a thing. That's a thing. There have been Puerto Rican guys that will take on double take an Asian woman with him. So that's also a thing. But yeah, but as you see, is talking about a North American records videos promoting sex tourism in Salvador and is criticized for it. But in Salvador, maybe Salvador Bahia. Uh, that's what I that would be my guess that that's what it is because the guy is not
Yeah.
giving actually any translation.
Excuse
So
me.
let me. Uh-huh.
You know,
Well,
one thing we have to make a distinction um, between the men that goes abroad with the purpose of trying to find a suitable spouse,
mhm.
okay, and they want to create a life with them, okay. That's one group of men, and then you have some men who actually they go abroad uh, just to get some the horizontal hula action with some poor disadvantaged
Yeah.
lady.
They're
Okay.
doing that for fun. I mean, like I said on the first slide that I did about the subject, it's not a problem for people to travel. It's not a problem. There is nothing wrong with it. I actually encourage it for people to travel, but like move in silence. The reason that this guy got in trouble is because of what I was telling you. What I was telling you about that on your live stream that he was going around recording women, asking them inappropriate questions that he didn't think anything of, and when all of his videos were doing their rounds on YouTube, the locals were having a problem with it, and that's when.
So basically, Ramon, is that
Mhm.
what you're saying that the passport bros what they were trying to do is to make their own version of Bang Bros?
Uh,
No, but I'm just saying. Actually, look at the premise though. If anybody have seen Bang Bros, right? The
yeah.
premise is that guys go in a van, they ask a woman an inappropriate question, they do the they do love boxing, and then after that, they go away. But the whole premise is that they're trying to get the opposite sex to go for love boxing. So
Yeah.
that's why I think that these guys were about. They're actually there for for love MMA and everything like that.
Yeah. Let me keep playing this.
Access. Y'all don't need to be able to know Portuguese to know what that means. Passport bros, they done caught on to y'all predatory behavior. But wait, there's more. Look at who they got right there in 4K. Y'all main passport bro savior, Austin Holloman, or YouTuber norteamericano, Austin Holloman, graba videos que estimula o turismo sexual. They done, yo, passport bros, now y'all done blew the spot up in South America, man. Y'all done made the spot hot. All that tricking that y'all was doing, you try to lie. See, we seen it too. Y'all try to act like, oh, we just going over there to find traditional women, and while y'all was saying that, you was shitting on American women. Now the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out why y'all don't got a problem with Fabio busting down Maria when you ain't there. You know what I'm saying? When Enrique be running up in Maria when you not there. Because y'all over there, like the article said, stimulating the sexual tourism economy. That's what you guys are doing. And it's known. Now y'all can't say, oh, that's not what's going on, because it's documented in the Brazilian news. Damn.
Replace your flour with Nature's Eats almond flour.
Hold on. I wasn't expecting this.
This is not a joking matter. I translated the article to English, and here's some of the key things it said that Austin said online. And I don't know if it's true or not, but according to this article, he said Brazilian women are faces to be conquered. The article states that one of the videos on your channel, published 3 weeks ago with the title Brazilian Women Are Easy, has more than 7,000 views. It also says 2 days ago, the American YouTuber made a new video with the title, Why Do Brazilian Women Like Bad Guys and Not Good Guys? Listen, bro, it's one thing as an American to criticize American women, but you go to other cultures and talk about their women, they will hurt you. Dead ass. Another part of this article talks about Austin interviewing women and asking questions about their sexuality. In one of the 2 videos, he questioned which penis size they preferred. To me, personally, that sounds harmless because I've seen plenty of videos on YouTube in the US like that. But to men in other cultures, it might be seen as disrespect.
You have to understand that when you go off to somebody else's turf, when you go off to someone's country, you got to know how to respect the women and the men out there. Because just like us, these men have daughters. Just like us, these men went to high school with these chicks. Just like us, these men are neighbors to some of these women or know their family. So if you're out here just exposing these women, putting them on camera, saying, yeah, guys, this is where it's at, this and that, although these women don't speak English that well, so they may not understand completely what you're doing, it's going on the internet and people can see it. People can translate it. People can understand what you're trying to do. And if they're not a fan of that, they're going to come see you. Trust me. That's literally just like foreigners that just start coming to the U.S. and start exposing how U.S. women are. Us from the U.S. are not going to be happy about that. Even though you may be like, oh, whatever, they're 304s. I promise you, you wouldn't.
Mr. Man in Action might have told a joke, but he's never told a lie. Go check him out. And I'm going to finish up this article. It reads, due to negative repercussions, Austin Holloman began to remove various content. In the last video published, he wrote that Brazilian feminists want to cancel him and said that he's received death threats. They got your picture in the article, bro. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'd leave and come back home because all it takes is one false allegation and you're done. This is not the US. Those laws are different. And while editing this video, you apologize. Roll that clip.
Hello, YouTube. It's Austin Holloman, and I already recorded this video in Portuguese earlier, but I want to put it in English because I can come off a lot more genuine in English and Portuguese. But let me say this. If you speak Portuguese, do not watch this video first. Watch the Portuguese version first, because a lot of people and the reason that a lot of this is going on is because a lot of people in Brazil are misinterpreting the things that I'm saying in English, and they don't really know how to speak English that well, and they're misinterpreting a lot of things because I don't say anything negative about Brazilians. So that's why it's so shocking to me to have this going on. But if you guys haven't known me already, I'm Austin Holloman. I want to say that first. This is very heartbreaking to me. The fact that
you are not accepted by another culture. Oh, that's not what you were gonna say. Well, continue.
It was always my dream to live in Brazil, and my YouTube channel was centered around me showing other men, not just the women, but just if you guys understand English and you watch my videos, you see me talk about how I enjoy just, first of all, we can start with just the drinks and how well the drinks are in Brazil. I love the drinks in Brazil over any other country I've been to, even my home country. I think where people are getting sex tourism from is because it seems like I'm only which I didn't only, but I can agree that 95% of the time I showcased women because that's just, I mean, Brazilian women are great. They're beautiful. They're nice people. That's why I showcase them that much. But I would agree that I did do that too much. I could have showed more of the food and the streets and the beaches and how to get your bank account and ID.
Women base their travel experience off of culture and sightseeing. When most men travel, we base our experience off of female. And if there were a ton of beautiful women in North Dakota, I promise you, men would be there sightseeing.
The people are so social. I can be myself in Brazil. I actually feel I can be myself and not be judged by everybody I run into. And that's why I made this video in English, because I can elaborate more than I could in Portuguese. But I'm very heartbroken knowing that because this whole situation is going on, that even, let's say, for example, I'm not banned to come in Brazil. Since my name has been slandered around and misinformed to the majority of the people, well, it seems like the majority of Brazil, but a lot of people in Brazil, it's not safe even if I wanted to come back. You know, if I wanted to come back to stay in Brazil, it wouldn't be safe because my name has been slandered and everybody's been geared to hate me, to think that I'm some sort of sex tourist that's telling men that, oh, Brazilian women. And I'm not saying this because I know some of y'all still going to watch this English version first and misinterpret it. I am not saying Brazilian women are easy for everybody. What I meant by when I said that Brazilian women are easy, and I shouldn't use the word easy. I know that now. I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, for a man that's well-mannered, well-dressed, that has put in the effort to raise
what a cornball,
he will have an easier time in Brazil as opposed to where I was from. That wasn't always the case.
But isn't that the case everywhere? If you're well put together, you'll attract more women.
But to get into the video, I want to apologize for releasing these videos and showing ignorance to the culture that you guys, certain aspects of Brazilian culture. I know that I shouldn't expect y'all to forgive me, but I'm asking if you forgive me because I am a gringo or an American in Brazil. I've only stayed there 3 months. I've been there a total of 4 months in the past year.
I don't care. I'm out.
Man.
I mean, like, if you actually look at it, right? That guy sound like a lame anyway. I mean, let's keep it for real. Most of the guys who are the passport bros, right? Everybody been talking about them for the past year, right? They were like a bunch of lames that couldn't get American woman to save their life, right? So they were always talking about their deepest fantasy just to get out of the United States and go with women and so forth. But yet they were trashing the American women around their neighborhoods or around the states or anything like that. So my thing is that these guys, they just went up and I guess mustered the money to get their passports and everything like that. They went over, they thought they were going to have fun. But if you actually look at it, a lame is a lame and a square is a square, no matter where you go. So if a man wants to go and talk about, oh yeah, we get all the females and all this stuff, and judging from what that guy looked like, he looks like he's like in his early 30s or something like that.
I think he's
So-
younger. I think he's just in his 20s, so he's still a kid.
I just think it's how should I say? He's like in his 30s. I could actually say that. So if the guy's like maybe in his early 30s and he's still acting like that, of talking to women disrespectfully and showing the camera and everything like that, it actually shows that he's actually immature. And even though he's actually coming off very Miko-ish. You get what I'm trying to say? Because even though he was more vulgar with it and everything like that, I'm talking about this guy because of what news articles is, what people are saying, that he was asking women inappropriate questions.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is that the whole point of him or any other of these guys who call themselves the Passport Bros, their whole objective is just one thing: sex. Because at the end of the day, if it didn't have their passports or anything like that, there would be just modern day black incels. So that's my own point about it.
Excuse me if I can just chime in.
Yes.
But as far as I'm concerned, that was a weak attempt of damage control. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Come on. Look, I don't like the flex, but the truth is, I have been to 6 different countries, 5 of them in Latin America. Okay. What I have done is, before I left, I did my research in trying to figure out, okay, how things are done over there. Okay. So that way I can blend in as much, and then I can enjoy as much of the country I'm visiting as possible. Now, of course, all you know that I have a special lady that's from the DR. The difference is I'm not going to the DR or anywhere to engage in the horizontal hula. I'm looking for appropriate companion, whether it be someone here in the United States or someone abroad. That's the main thing. Even the fact that I'm with someone from a different country, I'm not going to trash American women. Now, there are some women that have issues, so of course I'm going to address those type of women. But look, that was a weak attempt, and really, it makes it harder for the men who do go abroad for the purpose of trying to learn about the culture, or maybe find a suitable spouse.
Yeah.
I mean, if you actually look at it as far as international love and everything like that, right? I mean, that could actually happen if well, it could actually happen in 2 ways. But the original way that it could actually happen, if a person is very sincere, he actually learns the culture, he actually surrounds himself with the people and everything like that. And then if the prospective wife loves him, and then they get married whatsoever, maybe he wants to move in the country, or she want to move to his country. So sometimes it works out. For example, there's a guy who actually eats all over the world, and his name is Mark Weens. So he's an American based out in Thailand. His wife is Thai, and then he has a son. So if you actually look at it, that relationship worked out well. So all person has to do is just come in genuine.
Yeah. Rakim, what's going on, man? You want to chime in?
Yeah, I want to. I definitely want to chime in on this. Shout out to my boy Ramon. Thanks for having me on the platform. Shout out to everybody else on the platform. First and foremost, when you talk about the Passport Bros, I'm gonna put 50-50 on this, because I don't think the guy was a cornball. I think the person who did the video was a cornball. because he's just doing this.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That guy who was doing the fake apologizing and everything
No,
like
I'm not
that.
talking about
He's the
him.
cornball.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the guy who created the video. The content creator is the cornball.
Okay, that brother
This
on
is where I
TikTok.
yeah, the guy that the guy's video who you were showing of the guy talking about the Passport Bros and the people
Okay.
like that. Part of this, in my personal opinion, is that when it comes down to it, the Passport Bros, these was men, specifically black men, speaking to other black men about, you know, going abroad or whatever, that a lot of women chimed into their conversation and blew this up. It wasn't these men. One of the things as well that I'll put the fault on a lot of these men is that lacking self-awareness. See, a lot of these guys never been nowhere, and when you go overseas and you go to the Caribbean and you go to Latin America, different things like that, women that you see that on the average there would have been a 9 or a 10 here in the United States. And it's, you know, for them to be able to even interact with women like that or whatever, that it would have cost them a fortune to be able to do that here. But one thing I say, especially with us as black men, is that black men have to have self-awareness. A lot of us are not well-liked, in my personal opinion. A lot of us is not well-liked. So you should not be broadcasting whatever you're doing. I understand that you never been out the States. You never been anywhere before. You on these beautiful beaches with these beautiful women. Whatever you may be doing. Whatever you may be doing. You don't broadcast it because you have a lot of people that don't want to. I'm not just saying disrespecting the women or anything. You just have a lot of people that just don't want to see black men having a good time or being happy or having options. We've seen that with a lot of these responses when it comes to the Passport Bros. The women have been the loudest. These women was not even involved in this conversation. It was men that was having the conversation amongst themselves, and these women constantly wanting to see what the men are up to, involving themselves in men's spaces, and spreading and spreading this vitriol when it came to what guys was doing traveling abroad. And if a lot of these women were so great, it would be easy for them to get any group of men, not just men within their own community. And that's the only reason why this conversation even blew up to like this. We don't even talk about sex tourism when it comes to women. We had in 1998, we had Stella Got a Groove back. You got literally elderly white women that go over to the Gambia or go over to Jamaica and get involved in a Rent a Dread program where they using their
that's across the board.
Yeah. Rakim.
What they're using.
Let it finish.
They're using their ex-husband's money that they got from the divorce to go and get some 6'1" to 6'2" Bob Marley looking dude out on the Caribbean. So it's always going to be that double standard there. It's always going to be that vitriol there. And for a lot of these guys, I definitely agree. If you go to these countries, you need to learn about the culture. Don't be putting all your business on the camera if that's what you're out there doing or whatever. If you're not, make sure you show respect to the people. But some of these guys are arrogant, cocky, especially, no disrespect to anybody, but the New York guys, especially, they go over here and you shouldn't be doing it. That's why I say black men lack self-awareness. Some of us do, because I know for a fact that it's a lot of people that wouldn't want to see me with a smile on my face, and you need to move like that.
True. Now, but talking about that, Rakim, I think we did touch on this on the subject. I don't know if it was I don't know whose post it was, whether it was Radicals or Don Jose's. But I think we actually was talking about this topic before about women who actually go to Latin America and Africa and Asia to look for other men. I think we did touch on this before because it all sounds too familiar.
Well, I'll tell you one thing down on my. What do you think girls trips are? When all these women talking about going on these girls trips, a lot of the time they have a one night stand with men over in those countries, and some of them are even married. And also, one more point I just wanted to add: what Ramon was saying. Not only have white men been doing a lot of this tourism and different things like that, but then on top of that, you have white men that goes to places in Africa and get underage children, underage boys, and underage girls, especially like in the Gambia, in different places like that. And they actually go to different countries and open up whole brothels, and nobody bats an eye. So that's one of the, and it's a lot of brothers that are actually going there and looking for wives. I don't know how else to explain to people with the situation in the United States. It's become very, very toxic. And the funny thing is, a lot of these women complain about, oh, these women only want these men for their money. Ding, ding, ding. It's the same thing here in the United States. What makes you any difference, except you're so very you have a lot of vitriol and disrespect that comes with it. And so I don't know, man.
I mean to say something. You're actually right, but the thing is, though, it's more advanced when it comes to the women to the United States versus the women in Latin American countries, because these are like the 5 things that I know that women from impoverished countries will ask a man for. And the thing is, though, you don't even have to talk to them. They'll be like, hey, could you go and buy me something for my phone? Or they're like, could you pay my bills, or whatsoever the case may be. But in hindsight, all these things is just how should I say? It's just greedy women, but in different circumstances. Because that's how I call it.
I'll put it this way: I don't give a damn what another man is doing. I can care less, because it's not my business. But when you see, first off, a lot of these guys are catering and being simps to a lot of these women here, and they're trying to gravitate towards their audience to get their YouTube views up. That's why they're making that type of content, because a lot of the times these women, it's been so many videos made about Passport Bros. These women have been doing this. This have not been the men. And a lot of the times when a lot of these different people that are the loudest, that's the perception that people take in. Because for people to say, oh, they're being predatory, they doing all of this, they're doing all of that, in my personal opinion, that's a damn lie. I highly find it I just can't believe that a person can be predatory with some people that are being consensual. And I'm not for any of that or whatever they do. I ain't never been nowhere, but I'm not, so I don't know what they're doing. But I'm not for that. But to make it seem like, oh, that's just everybody's just going here to do this and do that and do this, no matter what, it's always going to be that double standard there when it comes to people that look like me, that they don't want to see that a lot of the times. And that's what's going on.
No, but I have seen those videos. I think I have a good idea of what you mean when it comes to certain women that get online and they start making assumptions as to what you're doing. Because if the Passport Bros are gonna be traveling, then there is the assumption that they're gonna be getting with somebody who is in this extreme poverty, or they're gonna be abusing somebody, or they're gonna be and no, that's not what I mean with this video. I already read about something that has been happening in Southeast Asia for the longest, and it has nothing to do with black men. So that's not what I'm trying to do.
No, I know you're not doing that, Ramon. I'm not saying with you anything like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just talking about the narrative that's out there with majority of these videos.
The women that are saying,
and you even got simp men that are siding with these women for views and just to talk with
trying to get a little favor.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about. Of course, I know you're not saying that, but that's because that's mostly what I've been seeing has been negative things. And when there's been guys that went to different places, they got a wife and they're not even coming back to the States. They don't even want to bring their wife back to the United States because they don't want their wife to get influenced by the toxicity of feminism and everything else that's here. So like that's all I'm saying.
And the thing is that if you look into it, you'll find out that there are Black American men that have been in Brazil for a long time, and they never had a problem. But that is because they move in silence. They be keeping their mouth shut. Whatever it is that they're doing, they haven't gotten in trouble, and they keep themselves. They keep quiet. They have been down there for a long time. They have no interest in being in the United States because they're living it up down there and they're at peace, and that's fine. That's perfect.
Yeah, but and it's the same way in the Dominican Republic and Jamaica also. The main key is that people have to respect the culture and move in silence. Don't go around and try to make videos like certain YouTube creators, which I'm not going to mention, trying to say that certain parts of Latin America is like the best place to have the horizontal salsa at. So
No, but I'll put it this way: if you're going there, if you're going to these different countries and you're not respecting the people, or you're disrespecting the culture and you're disrespecting the land and different things like that, you get what you get. It's just that simple. You get what you get. If something bad happens to you, you should have known better. But I find that a little contradictory. But yeah, it's like you definitely have to make sure you respect the culture and you respect the people. And I wish a lot of these guys because I know how it is. You've never been nowhere. You're going. You're seeing a lot of the Caribbean for the first time. You're seeing the beaches for the first time. Or you're interacting with a lot of these women that are gorgeous, and that's another thing. You can't even say these women are gorgeous without you being self-hating, because Lord knows if a black man say another racial woman is pretty, then he's self-hating. But yeah, so like it's just that a lot of these guys it's not meant. Whatever you're doing is not meant for YouTube, especially with the double standard. Because when you do it, you always gonna be the bad guy. When anybody else do it, nobody's going to bat the last. Nobody even sees it. So it's a lot of guys that just need to have self-awareness with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
move around. Yeah, Jose.
See, the key is you don't want to draw any negative attention to yourself when you travel abroad. Okay. Unfortunately, you have certain individuals that go to other countries, and they act in a very condescending way. They are entitled. They expect to get the same type of treatment or better in other countries that they do as they get into the United States. And the fact of the matter is,
I hear exactly what you're saying, Jose. But is it negative attention, or is a lot of people that's looking for negative attention when it comes to a lot of these individuals as well?
Okay. Yeah. If I understand that, if I can allow to continue, but the fact of the matter is this: if you go visit another country, I don't care what country that you go to. And you go there, and you go there with that privileged mindset, and you don't try to blend in, so to speak. You're asking for trouble for yourself. Now I have been fortunate. I have visited a lifetime. Yeah, what I try to do is I try to learn about the culture as much as I can, so that way, when I go visit, I'm going to stick out no matter what. Because first of all, because I'm new, I'm different over the manner of my speech patterns. Okay. But by me trying to learn as much as I can about the culture I'm visiting, I'm blending in, and I'm less of a target. Okay. So that's the point I'm trying to make. And I think, any responsible person male or female, when they go visit another country, they try to learn as much as they can, so therefore they can enjoy the experience that they have.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of something that I keep trying to tell you, Rakim. Try to make some plans and do a little bit of traveling yourself. Kind of like being aware, yeah, but still try to see someplace else, because one being stuck in the same place, it can be a little depressing. I mean, I haven't been able to travel the way that I would like to for some time because of my situation. But yeah, sometimes one can feel a little depressed, because it's like I can't move, I can't go nowhere, because I can't right now. But
Gotcha.
yeah, but
Yeah, with all of us being
one thing I gotta say, Rakim, is that if you ever decide to touch down to Dominican Republic, you're always welcome down there. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah. It's
oh
been,
man, I
it's been great.
appreciate that, Don.
Mhm.
I think because at the end of the day as well, because we all work, all of us are American, so even for us people that get to travel for a minute, you got to really plan that, because our jobs are very demanding here in the United States.
Yeah. As soon as you can get like a week off, and you can plan it in advance enough, like. Well, I mean, if you wanted to go to Puerto Rico, you don't need a passport, but anywhere else, at least start with that now. If you don't have it, just have that. Having that might inspire you to do more plans, to do more things towards like being able to transport yourself somewhere and see somewhere else, something new. I mean, you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait until you are like too old, and then you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Because like, here's the thing that gets me too with a lot of these guys. If these guys are so much incels and they're not desired, or they're losers and all of this other stuff, why do anybody care?
I mean, I'll tell you why people care, right? It's like, all right, first of all, nobody really cared about the incel in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? They was like, oh yeah, they're losers or whatever. But what happened is, within that collective, certain murders started occurring, like in the United States, Canada, and England. So incels that went up, and I guess they couldn't take it anymore, because there's actual cases of incels that actually went up and murdered people. That's why I would guess you use the term demonize the incel community, because of those murders. So, or those people being unalived. So all the innocent people who was unalived by that specific community or cult or association, whatever you will call it, the incels, and a lot of people, innocent people who are being unalived. That's why everybody is painting the incels as the enemy, because of those incidences of people who had mental illness within the incel community that
I agree that
committed a lot of acts of people being unalived.
No, but I agree. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. Look at Elliot Roger. Rakim, finish what you were saying.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I haven't heard anything about that. Not saying that it doesn't occur in other countries and different things like that, but I just haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about that. And but yeah, Elliot Rogers, he was definitely, and that guy was just upset. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. I done lost my train of thought a little bit, but I'll let you go, Ramon.
No, with that Elliot Roger, even though he was coming from a good family, and apparently his family wasn't. Armando, for real, I can hear you breathing kind of loud. If you can get your microphone a little bit further from you. Okay, all right, you're muted. Elliot Roger, even though he came from a good family, he still couldn't. His father failed him because he couldn't talk to girls. I mean, he was so overly introverted. I mean, no pun intended. I mean, I know what it is. Kind of like not feeling like one can talk to people and all that. But eventually, you have to get over that. One has to get over that and put themselves out there and try to casually talk to people, not trying to force it because you come. The young guy comes at women with thirsty energy. I mean, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna see it from a mile away that that they're thirsty. Kind of like talk to them in a casual manner, talk to women in a casual way, and that I'm sure it will have helped them because from my understanding, he wasn't like an odd looking kid, and he was somebody who drove like a nice car and all of that. He could have dated. He could have dated. It's just that he didn't know how because apparently he didn't get that guidance at home. Or
There is
nobody.
another thing talking about Elliot Rogers is that from the stories that I've heard and stuff, it looked like that his father was too busy, and I guess he started having because the father and his mother eventually divorced, so he was living with his stepmother that he didn't like, and he was living with his brother that he did not like. So in his rantings and stuff like that, he wanted to actually kill his younger brother because he saw that the younger brother was going to be a better man than him or something like that.
No. Okay. Well, his parents failed him to a degree. Still, accountability for him. Still, he should have been held accountable if he had survived. But well, yeah, his upbringing failed him. But I do agree. I mean, insults can be dangerous because they can be unpredictable, and they can snap and commit an act of violence, as we have seen before. And so some of these guys just need to get better at interacting with people, at socializing, and not trying to have a social life via social media. Because I mean, some of us are old enough to remember when we didn't have social media, so we had to actually interact with people out there. But the thing is that it was a generation in which you could actually much easier, you could interact directly with women, and they would be all offended, accusing you of trying to do something to them that they didn't want to. I mean, at least it was better for me in that way. But I can understand that it's difficult. That is difficult, kind of like these days for the younger guys to be able to approach women. I wouldn't know what to do if I was in the same situation as these guys. So to a degree, I can feel for them, but at the same time, like use social media for introduction purposes. But if it is somebody that they can get in touch, that is in the same city and all of that, make plans to meet in person, to actually meet in person. Very casual, just to know each other.
Absolutely. I agree. A lot of the times too, and we got to make a clear distinction. It's definitely a difference between a lame and the cornball and the incel. You can definitely see the difference. You know, like well, a lot of these guys, they wasn't able to find whatever successful relationships here in the United States. I can definitely, like, even walking up to a woman, if a woman don't want to give you the time of day, she can yell harassment. She can saying you're trying to, all types of stuff. We've seen the experiments of people doing of catcalling, that, like, all types of stuff, man, where it's just like you a predator or a creep no matter what you do for a lot of these guys. And then the same women that say those things are now those same women that are mad that these men are going overseas to whether they're in their 20s or whatever they're doing. You know, there's no point in me even saying or whatever they're doing. If people think that they're involved in tourism or especially or getting a wife or everything like that, the only reason it's become such a big deal is because of the women blowing it up and the women making the loud scream and yell and everybody else just looking at the women and saying, well, what they're saying must be true. They haven't even looked at the perspective of some of these men that have traveled abroad. Of course, I'm not saying we all know Sasua is infamous and different things like that because and I'm not saying like, look, if these guys over there doing that, you shouldn't be putting videos of you doing that out online. And this for multiple reasons. First off, it's not very classy to even do that. And then second off, you know it's a double standard to people that look like you doing stuff like that. So be a little bit more smart, have some self-awareness, and just know that your reputation is going to get dragged through the mud. The more and more attention you bring to yourself, because people are looking for negative attention, especially when it comes to, I'm gonna just keep it real, when it comes to people that look like me, people are actually looking for negative attention. And a lot of these guys need to learn not to be so loud with what they're doing and have some type of sense of self-awareness. Don't go around thinking that, oh, you're going to be able to, oh man, come here, fellas, come here, and think that's not going to attract that. Make sure you respect the laws of the land, make sure you respect the culture, and make sure you respect the people. And you know, and that's it. That's all.
All right. Yeah, and the thing is that these guys are making the rest of us look mega mad. So with that said, I'm gonna be adding another guest. What's going on, Radical? What's happening?
Oh, what's up?
Hey,
What's
Radical.
good, bro? Wrong. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting caught up on this whole Austin Holloman type of issue or situation. It's
Oh
kinda
yeah, on
crazy.
Twitter, right?
Yeah, I saw the original video, but I didn't really think too much about it because I could care less. But then when that joint started, now he left Brazil. Now he's in Asia and all that, and they kicked him out of Brazil because of that and all that. Yeah, it's getting crazy.
I mean, not kicked out, but he wasn't safe. He wasn't safe because there were some death threats, and
Well,
he just wasn't safe.
the way I
leave.
see it is, if you're in a foreign country, you know what I mean. You gotta be respectful on how you depict their people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Just be respectful. He probably didn't do it with malicious intentions, but
He didn't do it with discretion either.
Exactly. You know, it made it seem like he was just exploiting them just to basically say, hey, you could come here and these women are easy. Now the thing is, the Latino community didn't really say much about it. It was the Brazilians that said something about it. So you know, definitely shout out to them. They basically said, I don't like how you're depicting our women. You're gonna have to, you know, be respectful about it, and if not, then get out of our country. And hey, shout out to them for that, because at the end of the day, if no community is going to, you know, have a standard for their women and have a standard to uphold, then that community is pretty much fucked. You know what I mean? So to me, I don't see nothing wrong that the Brazilians did. Shout out to them. Now, the whole passport bros movement type of thing, they're not all, you know, Austin. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, the passport movement, I believe that they need to start having a code of conduct, because this is the type of thing that's going to blow back and give them a bad light, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing or anything like that, but there's a lot of, like, we were talking about it the other day, like there's a lot of men that actually we were actually talking about this, I think, last night, Ramon, that
Yeah.
that
Yes.
within that community. I'm talking about the travel for horizontal Lambada
My bad. Wait,
community, right?
my clothes is done washing. Give me 1 minute.
Gotcha. So, with that said, that there was a word that they used, which is called mongering. To go back on that, so there's a YouTuber that I actually follow. I'm not gonna really say this name or anything like that because a lot of people they don't think they he's doing anything right either, but he's just doing it on his own. But he actually talks about the difference between mongering and guys who actually talk about they don't pay to give her up, but they actually do. So he actually exposes a lot of these YouTubers while he does it himself. So yeah,
and we talked about the whole. Well, I don't know if those guys were using the word mongering properly, but it's about encouraging a type of activity, even if it is something that can bring some trouble. That's what mongering is about. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, making the thing is that many of these guys that are talking about that they're about to get the passport, they don't have it, so they don't travel. They're just talking. They're talking garbage. That's why I'll be the first one to say, look, I mean, people that want to travel put energy into action, not just talking. The people that be talking about, they're not gonna do shit. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, a lot of this is just YouTube talk. A lot of guys are not. For me, even like I would like to do traveling in the future, but I haven't even traveled to other places in the States that I want to travel to. I've never been to New York. I've never been to New Orleans. I've never been to Miami and different places like that. So a lot of these guys, they've never been to other places in the States, yet alone going to go get their passports. It's just that a lot of guys, they when they hear that, it's another talking point against a lot of these women that's always speaking negative vitriol. So that's pretty much all it is, man. And a lot of these guys that are passport bros are a very small minority. Most of Americans don't even have their passports. A lot of Americans that are from different countries of origin, such as the Caribbean, a lot of the time people just go back to their country of origin and then come back to the United States. A lot of other people haven't traveled to different countries either that are here, that are from the Caribbean or from other places as well. So, it's like a lot of it is talk, but what Radical said, I agree with. What Jose said earlier, what Jose said earlier, I agree with. Same thing with you, Ramon. It has to be definitely a code of conduct. People need to make sure that they respect these countries. And like I said, this is the mentality of somebody that's never been anywhere. And they didn't do research on a lot of these places before they went. So a lot of the times they're going to go, especially if they're in their 20s, wilding over in different areas, not knowing the way to carry yourself, not knowing that you have to show proper respect. And if a situation happened like what happened with this young gentleman right here, even though he didn't mean it, he may have not meant it with the wrong intentions, I don't know. But or the incident that you told me about, Ramon, that happened on the island with the one guy who, wasn't respecting the area that he was in. You get what you get. You don't know a lot of these places. You don't know a lot of these places, and it's quite different from the States in a lot of ways. So
because there was because there was the one guy that did get killed back home, but that was because he was at La Perla, which is a slum, and he was there at night. That's not what got him killed. The fact that it was a slum and he was in there at night, that's not what got him killed. What got him killed is that he was
the disrespect.
He was specifically told not to take pictures, not to pull out his phone and start taking pictures or video, and that's exactly what he did, and that's what got him killed.
Right, because that was a sign of disrespect. That was disrespect. After people told you, asked you not to do certain things, and you're gonna, oh, well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Well, it's consequences to that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where with a lot of these guys, it's consequences to what you're doing. If you go down there and you disrespect people, you disrespect their land.
Joaquin, it's becoming increasingly difficult to understand you because something is scraping.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. That was my microphone on my hoodie. Yeah, I was just saying, it's disrespect. It's disrespect. If you go to a lot of these places and you don't respect the culture, you don't respect the land or the people, it could be dire consequences. And for that, I can't defend that. You get what you get.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is that
get your passport, brothers. No, let me stop. Let me stop.
No, still, if you can get a passport, at least start with that. Get the passport.
You know what? You know what's messed up though about this whole thing. First of all, I didn't even know nothing about this Austin situation until today. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. At least 4 or 5 people are like hitting me up and telling me, "Are you going to apologize to Kim? Are you going to apologize to Kim? Kim was right. Kim was right." And I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?"
Please.
Yeah. What are you guys talking about? And then they showed, kind of got informed by that side just a little bit. And then I did my own research and I'm like, so you're trying to say that because Kim's been going after BBC, I have to now, because of one situation, now say that he was right? Like, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if I can just chime in. Okay, if I can just chime in, and look, the fact of the matter is, we're talking about a person that has never traveled outside the United States, does not speak Spanish, and actually makes my Spanish sounds perfect. I mean, for him to be passing judgments on others, I don't get it. And another thing, I mean, when you go to these other countries, it's like going to another person's home. Okay, act a certain way when you're visiting someone else. Okay, it's the same thing when I go on. All of us have platforms. Okay, all of us have like a certain code, a conduct regarding how we are to conduct themselves. Okay, it's the same thing. If I'm going to go to whatever country, okay, it is to my benefit that I learn a little bit about the culture, how things are done, and just be respectful. Because when I do that, I get more enjoyment, and I learn something new, and then I can share with others my own experiences. When I go to another country and I don't bother to learn how things are done and be disrespectful, I'm just bringing a lot of trouble onto myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, but I think,
and
yes.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, Ramon, and what, like when you spoke earlier about Elliot Rodgers, did you ever watch any of his speeches when he was frustrated? Because that's who Kim reminds me of slightly.
We're comparing this situation to Elliot Rodgers now.
No. I was talking about because he was an incel. We were speaking about incels earlier.
Okay.
No, I was just gonna say with that, and what did he say in one of those speeches? How do I see these hot chicks with black guys? I cannot understand it. Why?
Oh yeah. He was complaining about the fact that he's rich, and he can't get no women, and he constantly getting curbed and all this other stuff. Yeah.
Anything. Mm-hmm.
I mean, me personally, right? If he's rich and everything like that, I hate to say it, but you got some rich men that they don't have game. So, what do rich men that don't have game do?
They trick.
Pay for it.
Man, I'm not even going to front though. Like when you get this is coming from a man that ain't never had no problems getting women, but who want to play games at a certain age? Don't know men want to be like, game is for young kids. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Game ain't for no grown ass man. Like, don't nobody want to be playing games.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
after a certain age, it becomes a waste of time. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? It's like, as far as attraction and everything like that, women are attracted to what they like or what they see or something of that matter. And sometimes you don't even have the choice in the matter. Let's be honest. Because we could be I'm just saying for, men who are formerly single, right? We all knew what it was like when we were single. We all knew what it was like when we were just chilling. And then some female randomly saying like, oh yeah, you can look hot, whatever. And then they buy you a whole bottle and everything. I could actually say that I've experienced that. Other men can't. So
Yeah,
with that,
when it comes down to it, like on the situation with tricking has been here since the beginning of time. Prostitution is the oldest profession in the world. That's never going to stop. It's future tricks being born right now. So like, I don't care what other men do. Whatever you do, you just better make sure that you keep it
wrap it up.
Keep it under wraps. You better make sure you should keep it under wraps with whatever you're doing, because based off society standards, it's not viewed well. It's not viewed well. So
I mean, talking about tricking, wasn't French PM or something like that was involved in the scandal in New York like a few years ago, and it was about tricking?
I don't know, but then I just wanted to add this real quick before I go. Then you got high class tricks. What is the escort? And men
the escorts.
Men that deal in corporate businesses. You got men that own Future 500 companies that deal with escorts. That's just high class tricking. That's just the Louis Vuitton, Mercedes luxurious form of tricking. So
yeah, that is true. But those are the ones that, to be honest, less than 1% of those dudes are actually like, doing anything with these women. These guys are like dressing up as babies and getting whipped. You know what I'm saying? So those
okay, but you're talking about dominatrixes.
No, but those are the CEOs of Amazon and Apple and YouTube. Those are the ones that be paying these Russian escorts to be like tying them up, and making them like having candle wax drip on them and all that. So,
but why do they have to be Russian though? Because sometimes the Asians ones they just as worse too.
That too. I was just talking about stereotype. But my point is those high end women, they do other extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to some of these dudes that just be going overseas, and the first thing that they talk about is the women, you automatically know that, okay, you're not going over there for noble means. You're going over there for one thing and one thing only. And it's kind of disgusting,
It kind of is.
I'm not gonna lie. I knew something like this was gonna happen because let's be honest, the majority of the time is Dominican Republic, right? That they kind of show Dominican people. Let's keep it 1,000. We're like mad passive, so we get pissed off about certain things, but then we're just like, it is what it is. Look at the Brazilians. It took them less than 3 weeks to be like, nah, get this dude the hell up out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll tell you who ain't passive. One of these Hispano taps, I've forgotten his name. The one that looks like Jeffrey Dahmer in the face or something like that. But yeah.
So what I'm saying is that if look at what the Brazilians did. Shout out to them. If you don't like how your women are being portrayed, if you don't like what people are saying about your women in your own country, you got every right to kick somebody out of it. Look, the guy ran and he's in Asia now. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. But listen, thank you for coming, letting me come in. I'm gonna catch y'all later.
All right,
Radical.
Take care, Radical.
All right.
Yeah, but well, I mean,
we'll see. Maybe this sets a precedent. Maybe that it kind of has a bit of a domino effect on, say, Colombia, because there is that assumptions that that the Colombian women are easy. Like, not really. I don't think that they're easy, but there might be that perception. So if they're gonna be going around and asking them inappropriate questions, then maybe there could be some pushback over there too. I mean, I wouldn't want anybody to be hurt, but I'm talking about proper pushback. I mean, like, they can't show up with a sense of entitlement and thinking that the women belong to them, because we have been hit with that.
The United States has been hit with that every day. It's just that they don't talk about it.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it happens with any race. Like, for example, if you see a Asian man that has a certain view of white women or whatsoever the case may be,
mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden he could brag to his friends, "Oh yeah, I dominated whatever, right?"
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it happens in the United States daily, and when you actually have people with bad experiences dealing with other people groups, you will have races. I mean, you will have people with racist ideas. They're about, oh yeah, look how this person went up and treated this or something like that. But the thing is, though, is just that, it's actually the perception and the intelligence of the person that actually causes these things to happen. The more intelligence that a person has, maybe that person will know how to treat people and such. The less intelligence a person have, they might not even know what to do, or they just think that all women is supposed to submit to their will. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
yeah. So I'm about to skid out of here, but it was nice being in your panel, Introvert Boricua. Salute to you, Don Jose. I'm out.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Be
you.
safe out there.
All right.
I'll
Take
try
care.
to be.
All right, Don Jose. So, anything else that is on your mind? Because I'm about to close up out also. That is something that I have to take care of. But yeah.
No,
I
well,
mean, yes.
Well, look. When everything is said and done, there's nothing. There's nothing wrong if you wish to go visit another country, providing that you have some sort of an idea regarding how things are done, and you go there with the concept that you're going to respect the culture and respect the people and what have you. It's another thing when you go to another country and you're trying to exploit the people there, whether it be men or women, for your own selfish and stupid, whims. It's another thing altogether. So, unfortunately, these people make it harder for others who want to go to visit other countries to learn about their culture and to show appreciation. Because unfortunately, what's going to happen is some of these people may think all of us are the same way, and not all of us are. Many of us, are able to go visit another country anywhere in the world, learn about the culture, respect the culture, and then when we return, we can share what we have learned from new friends in other countries. So that being said, I just want to appreciate you, Ramon, for allowing me to be on your platform. I just want to do a little selfish plug. This Thursday, I'm going to be talking on Uncommon Sense regarding the wage gap among the sexes, to see if it's true reality and what we can learn about it. And of course, I have created a new channel called Golden Spear Folk. And the purpose of the channel is to provide a platform where I can discuss issues that biracial or multiracial people have, because they have their own issues, and unfortunately, there's a lot of misunderstanding regarding that. So I would hope that all those if they have a chance to check out my channels, which are Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron and Golden Spear Folk. So and by the way, please show my fellow Boricuas some love, subscribe to his channel, support his platform, and let's help a fellow Boricua.
That's right. That's right. I mean, and make sure that you subscribe, like, check out the content from Don Jose Negron on Common Sense with Jose Negron and Golden Sphere Folk. I have to check that other channel. I haven't checked that out yet, so that I have it on my to-do list. But yeah, definitely, I appreciate you coming up. And what was that?
Yeah, I'll send you the link so you can because unfortunately since my channel's so new, it's not going to show up in the searches. So I'll send you the link to the channel.
All right, sure.
So-
Appreciate it. So hey, Don Jose, I mean, if there was anything else,
no, that's it.
anything-
So that's it. I just want the people, if they forget everything else, just when you go visit another country, please be
Mhm.
respectful regarding how they do things, and you'll make your visit much more enjoyable and less stressful.
And I want to reiterate that once again, this has nothing to do with one specific demographic, because I will be the first one, and I did at the beginning read some briefs and some info as to how the whole sex tourism thing started. I mean, this is something that can be researched, and that's something that across demographics, and there are assholes that are in different races too. So this is not about one specific demographic. This is about, if you're gonna be traveling, come on, don't have this sense of American entitlement, because this is something that is very specific about the United States. United States travelers. I have heard that there are travelers from the United States that when they travel somewhere else, they might have some. They will have patches of flags of other countries. They will have like a Canadian patch on their backpack or something like that, so that people don't know that they are from the United States. That tells you something. That says something about the perception in other parts of the world about American entitlement. Don't do that. Don't be showing up in other places thinking that the people in the other countries are supposed to bow to you because you're an American. Don't do that. That's entitlement. Nobody likes that. I mean, it's insulting. So, with that said, I wanna appreciate all of the panelists, including Don Jose, Armando, Rakim, briefly Introvert. Rakim, I already said Rakim, I believe. And I believe that is it. Have a good one, everybody. Don Jose,
Yes.
have a good one. Have a good evening.
Okay,
And
good night. Good night, everybody. Please be safe.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Okay, bye. Everybody, please be safe.